Welcome to a kind of duo post-game show here. I'm your host, Greg Horne. Weekly Rebound, you know the vibes, and I got Nick with me. Nick, how we doing today?
Doing good. Sad about the Yankees. Excited for Game 7 tomorrow. Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, no, amen. That's, well said, well said. I actually had a friend who was at the Yankee game last night, so, it's a tough one for him. But he's got season tickets, so he'll be back. He'll be chilling. But, speaking of tough losses, that'll kind of get us right into it. And we had a good week of Legacy League action. We had week 3, and, the season's flying by. We're going to be on week 4 next week, almost halfway done with the regular season. But Enterprises Elite, talk about a rough loss. They got absolutely smacked again, 106-45 by Lord's Army. This was an absolute beatdown. Nick, you saw it. You were the key eyewitness for this beatdown. What happened here? How did Lord's Army take them out?
So as of right now, I've gotten the opportunity to work every Enterprise Elite game, and every story is the exact same. The teams run on them. They get out in transition, easy finishes. Right now they're losing by an average of 65 points per game, which isn't fun. But in this game in particular, they only had 3 guys at the start of the game, as a few others had showed up. Only 2 assists, so not a lot of ball movement. Really just Josh Browdy and his brother, John Browdy, trying to carry the offense. Glad to see Lord's Army got the win. I know they had a couple of close losses the first 2 weeks of the season. Jacob Morales, he had a lot of crazy finishes in that game. A lot. And Randy Kahn almost had a triple-double. He looked at me while I was doing the stats saying, I think I might have a triple-double. I'm like, he's close, but he wasn't there. But yeah, Enterprise Elite, I think they're just having a fun time, but they only had 3 guys who can score consistently.
Yeah, it's hard when you don't have too many guys and not a lot of depth. And, hey, looking at it, Enterprise Elite Lux Gang next week. That's going to be a big chance for Enterprise Elite to maybe get the first win under their belt. So, I mean, look, it's like you said. They lost, by 65? They're averaging about 65?
65 points per loss, right?
That's tough. I mean, yeah. That's tough. But, I mean, hey, they lost. Who'd they lose? Let's see. They lost to Street Ballers, Run TMC, and then Lord's Army. So, I mean, hey, I think next week's a big chance for them. I just want to give Lord's Army some love. I love when Jake Morales is playing like this. Like Nick said, he's a high flyer. And when he attacks the rim and he's aggressive like that, I think he's just so much fun to watch. I think he's a key.
During one of the timeouts, he was talking about having back problems. It didn't look like it.
Yeah, I mean, he looked healthy on the night. And look, this Lord's Army team, when they are playing like this and you get good shooting from Jason Hernandez, Jay Velez is having fun out there. When they're smiling, these guys are all friends. They all know each other a long time. And that's the Lord's Army team you love to see. Like I said, Enterprise Elite, they got Lux Game next week. Lord's Army, you're playing the Syndicate. And for people that don't know, the Syndicate, number 22, Alex Rivera, he is cousins with Jay on Lord's Army. And they used to be together on a team. They broke up, so this is going to be, it's got some fireworks. Yeah, get your popcorn next week. Lord's Army Syndicate, very familiar. We got family. This is going to be, it's going to get chippy. It's going to get fun. So that's going to be a good one. But like Nick said, shout out Lord's Army. They got the job done. And we'll move on to the next game, which was a lot closer than I think some people anticipated, and that was my Flint Tropics versus Street Ballers. Flint ended up taking the Street Ballers out 90-78, but hey, I got to give the Street Ballers some credit. I don't really know what to make of the Street Ballers team. I love Rico. Benji Valentine's playing great. Same with Marquis. Josh Mercado's doing his thing. And, they didn't have a few guys there, Street Ballers. But overall, playing the Flint Tropics were at pretty much full strength outside of Dom. And Street Ballers, they made it close. They fought. It looks like that third quarter, they got outscored 29-21. It looks like that was kind of a big part of this game, because it was about a 4 to 5 point game most of the way, and then I think Flint just had a little too much in the end for them. But I got to give Street Ballers a lot of credit. I really think they're fighting. They're playing good basketball in this league, and we do the power rankings, and we always talk about I think that Joey loves NLMB. I have a lot of respect for NLMB and what they've done in the past. But look, next week Street Ballers NLMB, they play 7:00, first game of the week. That's a big game, because I think if Street Ballers can beat NLMB, they're really putting this league on notice. Like, hey, look, we might have lost to Flint. We might be one of these teams. Let's say they only have Enterprise Elite and Syndicate under their belt. So now they get NLMB next week. Then Street Ballers are going to get money, so they're going to start playing these better teams. So I'm excited to see what they can do when they play some of these better teams. But I got to give Street Ballers love. They're doing their thing out there. And for my Flint Tropics, keep grinding, boys. Keep doing your thing. We need to see a chip from this team. They were the unanimous number one team in the power rankings all of last year. And they're probably going to stay the unanimous number one team in the power rankings this year, them and Run TMC. And they're the two clear favorites right now. So Flint, you got to keep doing your thing. I want to show some love to Pat Drury on Flint. We always talk about Matt Fink, Quan Jackson, Bazoots, and these guys, but Pat Drury is just a fundamental player. I think everyone who plays basketball knows these kind of guys, whether you have a friend or just someone you play with. Fundamental. They know what they're doing. They make the right pass. They play good defense. They never complain. They're always just a good vibe guy out there, and I got to give 33 some credit, so shout out to Pat, but hey, that's what we do in Flint Nation.
I mean, what I've seen from the Flint Tropics so far is that they're just bigger than everyone else, but not too big because it is, small rim, so it's not that bad, and they just play well together as far as I've been able to see. And Quan Jackson had a nasty poster. Yes,
he did, and that's what Quan does. And it's it's funny. Flint, just for a backstory, they growing up, they were all friends, and they would lower their hoops in their cul-de-sac, and they've been playing on 8.5-foot rims for a while.
Oh,
and
okay.
You can kind of tell, like you said, their ball movement and their chemistry is just second to none, and that's really what gives teams trouble, and that's why they're so hard to beat. But again, shout out Street Ballers.
I know, NLBM gave them a run for their money last week.
Yeah, and they always play Flint well, and that's why NLMB, they get the kind of benefit of the doubt, because it's hard playing Get Money and then Flint to start the year. But speaking of NLMB, that's our next game, and we're going right into it. And I got a same kind of sentiment here. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Lux game kept this close. If you had to ask what the spread was before this game, NLMB Lux game, I bet you most people would say NLMB's getting, I don't know where, over 10.5 for sure. They were heavy favorites coming to this game. And look, Lux game. Every week on this post-game show, we told you, just keep doing your thing, keep doing your thing, keep doing your thing. And it showed in this one. Trevon Jones is probably one of the most yoked players I've ever seen in this league, and he is good at basketball too. This guy, he scored 45 of their 76 points, 75% from the field, and he shot 62% from three. If he can shoot the three ball, I mean, he's averaging 36 a game on 60% shooting. He's just a problem. I mean, what have you seen from this guy, Trevon Jones?
I didn't get the chance to watch this game. I had the Get Money Run TMC game, but I did watch Trevon Jones in his first game.
Yeah.
He's just bigger than everyone else, quite simply. He's too strong for everyone else in the league. Right now, he leads the league in points per game, shooting at a 60% clip. That's pretty much what Giannis Antetokounmpo does in the NBA.
Yep.
He's just rim running. I mean, 5 from 8 from 3. He did miss, I think, 2 3-pointers at the end of the last game to tie it up. It was either 1 or 2. But just being that much bigger, stronger, jumping higher than everyone else gives him a definitive advantage. And he definitely has a big load to carry, but on those really broad shoulders, it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah, no, amen to that. Yeah, he's carrying this team, and again, same sentiment. Want to give Lux Gang, look, NLMB, keep doing your thing, guys. They're adding a guy, NLMB. They said they're going to add a new player, so I've seen it with NLMB. I've seen them do it. They've made playoff runs. Dante Hodge is a phenomenal shooter. I mean, he's a 3-point contest winner. When he gets hot, he gets going. Christian D'Souza had a kind of a slow start, so he'll kind of pick it up. But shout out them. Do your thing, NLMB. I know y'all will be there in the kind of the end part of the season. Once we get down to the last 4 teams, I expect them to be in that hunt. But Lux Gang, you can put yourself in that conversation, Lux Gang. You went from one of the lower teams. Like, I'd probably say Enterprise then Lux as my bottom 2 teams. Hey, this was a big game for them, 79-76. They only lost by 3. Like you said, Trevon Jones hits a few threes. Maybe they pulled this one out. So, again, I just want to give love to Lux Gang. They're doing their thing, and I'm excited to see. Let's see next week. I mean, hey, Enterprise Elite, they're playing Lux Gang, and they better come in ready because, like I said, this could be a chance for Enterprise to get a win. Can also be a chance for Lux Gang to blow them out.
I think it's a chance for Trevon Jones to drop 50.
I agree. I think a 50-piece is very likely. Trevon Jones.
Trevon, if you watch this,
you can
get out running. You can get out running.
Yeah, he easily could. And speaking of get out running, that's what Run TMC did in this one. And this was probably the game of the week. And
Oh, yeah.
the Get Money boys, they had a tough one in this one. Not a good showing from Kyle Davis and the squad. Run TMC 73-65, and Devon Pratt and the boys. Once Run TMC gets going, it's really hard to stop them. They got a lot of guys on that bench too who have not come to the game. They are still a short-handed team.
Yeah, every game it's been 5 people.
Yep, and some of
And
the
they're
guys
undefeated, so.
Yeah, and some of the guys they have to add. Let's just really quick. I'm going to share my screen really quick, and let's see. This is one of the guys they have. Eric Langston, as you can see, he is a 4-time league champion, so they got him to add. 2-time defensive player of the year. Like this is a guy that he's a problem. Eric Langston's probably 6'4", almost 300 pounds. He can shoot the three. He handles like a guard, and he's also probably he's just as big as Trevon Jones, but taller. He's a problem. And the thing about Eric Langston is he's just like Devon Pratt. Is he gets the boys going. He gets them hype. So I'm excited to see when this team's at full strength. Nick, you saw this one. What did we see?
I mean, it was definitely a close game. Run TMC got the first quarter was 10-9. It was very close, but Run TMC got out to a pretty decent lead in the second quarter, and Get Money was able to close the gap quite a bit. There was a lot of complaining from the referees on both sides, and Get Money kind of has the point because they only took 6 free throws, and Run TMC can get very handsy, but Reggie Stewart took the game over in the end, which allowed them to close it out. But they're gonna need to get their bench players. They just need to be a little bit deeper. They've been lucky that they haven't run out of gas yet. So excited to see what a full healthy Run TMC is going to look like. But if they were to play the Flint Tropics, they might get gassed.
Yeah, they need their full team when they're playing the Flint Tropics. Like, look, it looks like in this game, Get Money started out really, really slow, and then they kind of picked it up.
Oh, yeah.
Just looking at it, I mean, the second quarter they got outscored by 11. The rest of the quarters were, these are 2 3-point games. So if Get Money doesn't start slow, and next thing you know, they're really running. Tysheen McCrae's getting good. Tysheen McCrae had an incredible game, too. I just want to give Tysheen some love. He's someone who gets really overlooked. He
got really hot from 3 at the end. That really made it a lot closer than it should have been.
He's a clutch player. He's ready for the moments, and I'm not selling any stock on Get Money. This was a hard-fought game. It's a regular season loss. It is what it is. It happens. Just bounce back. But for Run TMC, Nick said it best. It's the Reggie show. When Reggie does this, they're just playing great basketball. And I got to say, I love my Flint boys. I think Run TMC is looking like the clear title favorite right now. They'd probably be the number 1 team for me. I love what I've seen from Flint, but if Run TMC can come with full strength, I'm going to need Flint to do... Look, last year Flint lost in the semis. Their best player, Matt Fink, wasn't there. But it's kind of like what Nick was saying. Like, you need a team with depth to pick your guys up. And I thought last year Flint should have beat NLMB without Matt Fink. I think they were the better team. So I'm excited to see when this TMC Flint team plays. When do they play? Let's see. Week 6?
Okay.
Week 6. That's going to be a game.
What I will say about Run TMC, their first 2 weeks they had Enterprise, Elite, and Syndicate. And from what I've seen, they're a little bit slower. So the conditioning doesn't really need to be there if you're running 5 guys. But later in the season, they're gonna need the depth.
Yeah, they're going to need their guys to come. So Joey, get on the phone, get your guys there. But speaking of the Syndicate, we got to talk about the Syndicate because they took another loss this week to Snipe Squad, 84-68. Snipe Squad's a fun team. They are someone who you just don't want to play when they get hot because they can, just like Nick said, they're young. They're probably one of the younger teams in this league.
They look like they're in college or fresh out of college.
They're in college.
They look like they're my age.
I'm pretty sure they're in college right now.
Okay.
And
that checks.
I mean, what did you see, Nick, in this one? Snipe Squad took it to them.
I mean, they just have fun out there. They're young. They play a little bit faster than the Syndicate, and from the 3 games that I've seen from the Syndicate, they play a little slow. I mean, I don't want to call some of the guys a little out of shape, but they are, which isn't a big problem. But when they're playing a young team, it kind of is. And Tim Case, he had a showing. He had a highlight alley-oop that should be out later. Dropped 33 points, 14 boards, 8 assists, almost a triple-double. It was just, they just have fun out there. Gotta love them.
No, I agree. Snipe Squad's one of my favorite teams in this league. When they played a few sessions ago, they went about, I think they went 1-7 or 1-8, and I always liked the way they played. They had fun, and they came back with a much better team this year. And Nick Chiarito, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he's balling. He is such a great addition to this team. Angelo does what he does. I love Kyle Cusano. I love the way his game is kind of fitting into this league. He's starting to figure out, all right, these are different types of rims. You kind of can't play how you would on normal height. 4-on-4, it's a lot different. And just like Nick said, you can't run out of gas. And I remember when I played in this league, my first game, I had a few guys at halftime just like had to go outside through the InSports back door and throw up because like they're like, I can't keep up right now. And that's something that you learn in this league. And look, the Syndicate, I mean, if I'm going to be real, you can't shoot 10 to 32 from 3 against Snipe Squad. It's not going to work. Tim Case and Co. is going to get too many easy buckets. And then especially if you're shooting 30% from 3, you can't shoot 39% from the field overall. I like the guys on Syndicate, but they got to show me something else. I need to see something.
I think Snipe Squad get it. I would probably say that their first game against the Flint Tropics might have helped them a bit. Because from what I saw from that game, the Flint Tropics got out and run. And Snipe Squad kind of did that today. They were attacking the rim more. They only took 17 threes, which in a short rim league where you don't have to use as much energy to take a three-point shot, it's more tempting to shoot those threes. They didn't do that. They rim ran, moved the ball, got a lot of easy shots, and the Syndicate just going to keep up with them.
Yeah, I agree. And Syndicate, like I said, keep your head up, but you guys just try different things. Maybe try new looks, try new lineups, play a little different, try to figure something out here, cherry pick more. That's a Yaga strategy. Try to do something because, look, for Snipe Squad going forward, they play Run TMC next week. And Snipe Squad, I'm going to give you some piece of advice. Attack the basket and make TMC foul you. Do not get into this, hey, I'm going to jack 17 threes up because Reggie's shooting threes, because you're not going to win that battle against Run TMC.
Yeah, and with Run TMC, if you can get a little bit physical with them based off their previous games, they get a little frustrated with the refs, and I think that was a big reason why the game on Thursday got as close as it was, because they were preoccupied focusing on the calls that weren't being made.
Yeah, and the same goes for Snipe Squad. I know those guys get heated. Just, hey, breathe, move on. You guys will be good. But Snipe Squad, seriously, I mean, me, Nick, the whole league, this team is exciting, very exciting. I always say it. There's going to be there'll probably be TMC and Flint, the 1-2 seeds. That 3 through 8 is going to be interesting. And if I was like a Get Money and then LMB, it might even be the Snipe Squad at the 3 seed. Like, I would not want to play some of these teams in the first round of the playoffs because Snipe Squad is a team that could get hot. Tim Case is a problem. There's not many people who can guard him in this league. And then my guy Angelo, Luca out there. I mean, shout out Snipe Squad. They're doing their thing. So, hey, this was a great week of basketball. We got some good games next week. We got Flint Tropics Get Money next week. We got the cousin matchup, Alex Rivera against Jake Morales, Syndicate Lord's Army. We got TMC Snipe Squad. Honestly, these are all going to be good games. Street Ballers and LMB could be a good one, and then Lux Game Enterprises Elite is a huge game for those two teams. So, I mean, hey, I'm looking forward to it. Nick, you got anything else? Anything you want to make a finals pick, MVP pick? Anything you got for me?
Well, if Lux Game can get on the roll, Trayvon Diggs might have something to say about the MVP. But for me right now, it's Reggie Stewart. He's by far been leagues above everyone else, as I've had the scene so far. Whoever the coach is for Snipe Squad, one of the refs wanted to know if his mustache was real.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get an answer for that on the next post game show. Snipe Squad, we can get the coach on here, do an interview for him or something. But hey, I'm with Nick. I think Reggie would be my MVP pick too. And they say Reggie runs TMC, and he absolutely runs that team.
Oh yeah,
he's been playing with those boys for a long time now, so. It'd be exciting to see Run TMC get back on the mountain. back to the top of the mountain. But for me, Greg Horne, for Nick, this has been a pleasure, everyone. We can't wait to see you for Week 4 where we got some bangers, especially Flint Get Money. And, hey, everyone have a great weekend. Stay cool and enjoy the beginning of the summer.